Many CDMOs position themselves as sort of Western or global, but their supply chains can still rely on restricted geographies for raw materials, filters, single-use assemblies, and so forth. How does a sponsor how deep does a sponsor need to dig? And is auditing the CDMO enough, or do we need to a supplier level visibility and contractual authentication?
Hmm. So, Jeff, I would say simple answer, as deep as possible, if not even deeper. We all went through a lots of roller coasters with the supply chains. We can go back to pandemic and now recently various geopolitical developments. And our supply chains depend on a number of raw materials and the packaging materials. So all these raw mats, PMATs, availability is absolutely essential to be able to build a reliable supply chain uh, from the API all the way to the packaged drug product. Uh, so asking deep questions and understanding the setup of all the raw materials and packaging materials, sourcing, deliveries, lead times, risk management, such as dual sourcing of stockpiling. I think it's in the best interest of the sponsor to have a really in-depth understanding and having the arrangements captured as much as possible in the manufacturing supply agreement. So that can help to prevent surprises and shortages or inability to supply by the CDMO.
Excellent.
I
Christine,
think ultimately, yep. So, ultimately, you as the sponsor, you're responsible for the entire supply chain. So, even though the CDMO is sourcing materials for you, ultimately, you are responsible for that end product. So, absolutely needs supplier level visibility. And then, from a contractual perspective, this is where it's important to know and have a mechanism for reviewing any changes to supply chain as well. So a lot of times I see that more in quality agreements, but it's definitely something that you need to know if the CDMO is even thinking about making a change to one of your raw materials or supplies.
Right. So moving on, we only have maybe, two or three questions left, and then we can try to address some more questions that have come in from the audience. There's some good ones in there. So the next question is sticking with sort of areas that deal with the BioSecure Act and sort of asset value. Jana, there's a grandfathering window for certain existing arrangements for a biotech with limited cash. Staying with a lower cost partner in a restricted geography can look attractive. What's the unfiltered reality when trying to partner or sell the asset?
Uh, so cutting to the chase, the reality is that most likely technology transfer will be required. Grandfathering development that perhaps goes back 5 years, just to guess. It often means that you are working with a supplier that doesn't have experience with the FDA, as it's not able to produce a complete, robust module 3. So the risk can go all the way to complete response letter, um, which I would avoid at any cost, and that includes the technology transfer. So moving the program to a more established US-based supplier, someone who will be able to supply the product commercially, and the sponsor and the team need to realize that that will take time. That the technology transfers anywhere from 1 year to 2 years and comes with some incremental cost.